it's great to have you with us today on Faith and Finance. By the way, if you've not checked out our website recently, we'd love for you to do that. The wealth of content, articles, podcasts, and videos there to help you be a wise and faithful steward of God's money is incredible. You'll find it all at faithfi.com. You can visit that on your smartphone or on your desktop. Again, faithfi.com. Just click the content button. Also, while you're there, check out the FaithFi app that can help you manage God's money and access all of this great content on the go. Just click the app tabs. Again, it's all at faithfi.com. Let's see. We'll head to Plymouth, New Hampshire, and welcome Barbara. Go right ahead.
Hey, Rob. Question. My senior mother, she's in her 90s, but she's in good health, thankfully. She is going to be selling her house. She's owned it for over 30 years. It looks like she may be going over the $250,000 exemption for gains. And my question is, if she goes over it, say by 20,000, what happens there? How does that work out? And the other question is, how soon after the sale does she have to deal with this?
Yeah, got it. It's a great question, Barbara. So first of all, your mother would report the sale of her home if she sold it this year on her 2025 federal tax return if she has taxable capital gains. So that is profit exceeding the exclusion, which you just referred to. So that would be the filing deadline, which would be April 15th, 2026 for 2025. And that would be, when she would need to do that. If she, receives a Form 1099-S, she would have to report the sale even if the gain is fully excluded, but it would be on her 2025 return. Now, if she goes above the $250,000 of gains on a primary residence where she's lived there 2 out of the last 5 years and she's single, not married, filing jointly, then it would be added to her taxable income, which, if that threshold for a single filer goes above $48,000, and that's not only your adjusted gross income, but your gain is included in that number, which is where most people fall. If it's between $48,300 and $533,000, then whatever that gain is that goes above the $250,000 threshold would be taxed at a 15% long-term capital gain.
Okay. It's 15%. Anything above. Okay.
If it's under $48,350, her combined income or taxable income, so her adjusted gross income minus standard or itemized deductions, but with the gain included, if it's above $48,000, then she's in that 15% bracket. If she goes over $533,000, so it's going to be up at 20%.
Well, as far as I know, she hasn't filed an income tax because she's on Social Security, and she gets a little bit of a pension from my dad, his local union. She's been getting that for about 10 years, but that's been under like $700 a month. So she hasn't even been filing an income tax.
Okay, yeah. But this would be the year where she would need to look at that because, again, it's based on her taxable income. And so, that would be really important. If she knows she has a gain beyond the exclusion, the pension and Social Security income are included in that, taxable income, but the extent just depends on specific rules around that. So this would probably be a good year for her to get a CPA or accountant to help.
Okay, and last question. She's been offered different ways to receive the money for the house, either a direct deposit, a check, and there was something else. Does it really matter how she receives the money from the sale?
No, it really doesn't. I mean, typically it would happen electronically through the closing agent. It would normally go to an escrow account, whoever that closing agent is, and then they would either cut a check or do an electronic transfer. It really doesn't matter in what manner she receives it.
Okay. The last question is, I was wondering, should she at least throw some of this money into, a high yield savings or, something like that? She's 91.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think once she has the proceeds, then she needs to take a step back and just say, what are my values and my priorities? What is my financial position? I mean, I think from a financial standpoint, making sure she has, at least 6, in this season of life, maybe as much as 12 months in reserves. And that I would put in a high yield FDIC insured savings account. Beyond that, if she ends up with more than that, I think then that's an opportunity to say, okay, should we bring an advisor into the mix that could help her manage this, minimizing risk, given her age, but also outpacing inflation and trying to grow it while protecting it at the same time. I mean, all those things could be in play, but yes, immediately getting it earning interest in an FDIC insured account would be the first order of business as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, and at least 12 months in reserve should be going into that high yield savings?
I mean, I think somewhere between 6 and 12 months is probably, the right range, and the ultimate amount is really dependent upon just her comfort level, what's going to give her peace of mind, what other potential, financial needs she's going to have now or in the future. A lot of that will play into how much she ultimately wants to have liquid.
Okay. Her last concern is